All right, Black Power is the General Suten Seti, and I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. Y'all know what it is? KingSeti.com online marketplace, official General Suten Seti DVDs, t-shirts, hoodies. We got African and Kemetic jewelry, fly things for the African kings and queens. Get on over there, check me out, KingSeti.com. For my family who want that fire, General Suten Seti exclusive live stream, need to get on over there to my Patreon. Putting that fire over there, burning it down. Ring the alarm. General Suten Seti dropping bombs on Patreon. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we in the motherfucking house today. You know what I'm saying? So get on over there to Patreon, General Suten Seti. And for that treasure chest of nothing but gems and jewels, the greatest treasure chest of African knowledge on the planet at this time. We're talking about GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, 700 videos, classics. You understand what I'm saying? Behind the scene video, you know what I'm saying? Live interviews, video interviews, radio interviews, everything General Seten Seti, you gonna goddamn love. It's the goddamn Black Power Netflix. So get on over there to GeneralSeti.com today and be amazed. Okay? And make sure, family, that y'all subscribe to both of my YouTubes, Seten Seti, General Seti. Make sure you hit that goddamn notification button and like this shit because you love it. You know what I'm saying? You got to like the general because, you know, they fucking hate this powerful knowledge that I'm dropping out here right now. You feel me? And so make sure you hit that like button because you love it. Hit that goddamn notification button so you know when the general is going live, and make sure you share this shit everywhere that you can. All right. Now, you know, it's issues out there that I need to deal with. You know what I'm saying? On the more social level. And I'm gonna get to those. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow. Cause you niggas out there is at probably the weakest level that I done seen niggas at. You know what I'm saying? And so motherfuckers is gonna have to be dealt with. It look like it damn near gonna come to a civil war in the goddamn black race. It's gonna be a goddamn civil war in the goddamn black race to change shit around. You know what I'm saying? And that's real fucking talk. Today, we're going to be dealing with, and you know, we have to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is on every front. We have to put the army up there to fight for the liberation of our people. You see what I'm saying? On every front. And we can't, you know, it can't be, let's deal with this front today. We'll deal with the other front. No, it got to be simultaneous what we doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold back on nothing. I just swing on every motherfucker out there that ain't doing right. You know what I'm saying? And so today we're gonna be dealing with you know, and I have to stay on religion. Some motherfuckers think that, you know, you could do a video and somehow, you know, one video not a goddamn nothing. You got a goddamn church on every goddamn every corner in the black community. You see what I'm saying? They on they posts every day. Some motherfuckers got church motherfucking Monday through Sunday. You understand what I'm saying? Every fucking day of the week they got something popping off at church. You know what I'm saying? Pulling niggas in, you know, and pillaging, you know, the what little economics that motherfuckers got any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? No real economics, because when the collapse of when Rome collapsed, your ass collapsed too, because you so connected, you so closely aligned in every goddamn way with this motherfucker till where, you know, if he collapsed, you collapse too. You see what I'm saying? No independence. You know what I'm saying? No sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? And so, Marcus Garvey have told us many, many times, and many, many damn near 100 years ago, that, we would come to this motherfucking low level of action that's going on all across this goddamn globe if we didn't get true liberation. You understand what I'm saying? And I've always said that, yeah, I fought the goddamn white man for where we, how we got here, every fucking thing that he took from us. But goddamn it, I fought in primarily the black man because he is the goddamn warrior. I fought him for continuing to let this motherfucker do it. Okay? And so it's always up to the black man to free his goddamn people. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't no crying and shit and this, that, and the third. Motherfucker, if you got punched in your motherfucking eye, nigga, and you ran in the house crying, my mama sent your ass back out there, nigga. Get your bitch ass back out there. So it ain't no whining when it's time to deal with some shit. And so niggas have come down to the level of bitchness to where, it's almost unheard of, the actions that's going on in the black community, which is going to cause, and like I said, it's all type of weak ass, but the neutralized nigga is now, he has become just as detrimental to what's going on as the niggas out here pillaging the community. Because if these neutralized niggas can't get up off and go to war with these niggas out here pillaging the goddamn community, he's an accomplice to every fucking thing that's going on. And that's real fucking talk. That's real fucking talk. And so, I had to come on to address that, and I deal with it because, some of this shit, I didn't even become privy of, aware of and shit until, just recently. But, for the sake of, just to say what it is, just to see how niggas is out here pillaging their own goddamn community, this, that, and the third, jumping on their own women and children and elderly and doing all this shit. And then every fucking time I see a nigga fucking get arrested by the goddamn, he put his motherfucking arms out there for the motherfucker to put the cuffs on it, this, that, and trying to cry to the motherfucker to see if he gonna be light on him and shit, this, that, and the third. I don't see his ass turn around and go in that goddamn beast's mouth. You know what I'm saying? I have always shown disdain for the littlest shit that the beast done, and I let him know. You know what I'm saying? Right then and fucking there. You know what I'm saying? And we can go wherever the fuck we need to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Because, dignity, motherfucker, I got to have dignity. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. At the end of the day, I got to have my motherfucking dignity. And I'm just not the type of motherfucker, but I see where we at as a motherfucking people that, this level of, when niggas have, just went down to the, just a bitch ass savage. That's what the word that most sums it up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking at all this shit out here where you got groups of niggas that jumping on one woman. That shit got to be dealt with. And I'm just gonna be real. If black people have to go to civil war in this bitch to get rid of these niggas, we need to be ready to do that. Because either that, or they're gonna pillage our ass. So all that talking about, peace and fuck peace. And I'm gonna even quit saying that shit because, we say peace, 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 but it ain't no motherfucking peace. It ain't no motherfucking peace. It's war out here. You understand what I'm saying? It's war out here. So it ain't about no goddamn peace until the goddamn victory is won. You know what I'm saying? And that's the confusion because we still don't believe that we on no goddamn battlefield, but every fucking day I see nothing but bloodshed and pillaging out here within our goddamn community. And yet and still we have left, the fate of our race in the hands of another, not because we can't fight to, reclaim what is ours. for the fact that niggas didn't just tap and gave in to this goddamn beast. So, at this point in time, what I see is that we can no longer blame the white man for shit because we have the ability to fight this motherfucker. And if we don't do that, then that's on us. And that's the elephant in the room that don't nobody want to deal with. So, for that, this is a different, and I feel that, when I go into these type of videos, that, I just let it go. And these the type of videos that get pulled up out for this motherfucker because I don't have no problem, just being very flagrant with my mouth about, what the fuck is going on out here. But I'm going to try to divert that energy into what, because there's a pillaging of the soul. You know what I'm saying? There's a pillaging of the soul. And again, black peoples is very, they're very, much a part of that pillaging, because they the motherfucking reverends and shit, this, that, and the third. And you got these silly ass niggas out here on this corner, these so-called Hebrew Israelites, and it's like, nigga, I eat y'all niggas like Captain Crunch. You know what I'm saying? You niggas, that shit is garbage, yet and still peoples is out here still entertaining that shit, trying to make, just because you sprinkle some, some blackness on the Bible, somehow that shit is appropriate. That shit is garbage, and I don't give a fuck if you try to paint them motherfuckers black or not. It's still garbage. It's still a lie, and and we just have to motherfucking clarify this to the people so we can move on. You live in a lie, and that's another reason you running from the truth, and that's why most motherfuckers are in the predicament that they in today. They running from the God. You got to deal with the elephant in the room. You see what I'm saying? Nah. I have to bring this up because a lot of people, somehow they continue to listen to this goddamn Hebrew Israelite garbage. You know what I'm saying? And motherfucking Charleston, Heston, 10 Commandments bullshit that's on the motherfucking every Easter and shit. And I thought to myself, I say, goddamn, they always play the 10 Commandments on Easter. And I say, well, goddamn, I thought that supposed to been about the fucking resurrection of Jesus and shit. And they play some shit out the Old Testament on goddamn Easter. And I say, well, damn, I wonder what the Jew was trying to do when he did that. That just show you the disrespect that they have for each other. You see? Nah. We've always looked at the 10 Commandments and they always show, you know what I'm saying, some goddamn Jews, Hebrew, whatever the fuck you want to call them, Israelites, building pyramids, trying to steal the legacy of our ancestors. You got these Hebrew Israelites, they sit out on the corner being very disrespectful to Africa and everything African. We not African, we some goddamn, and they willing to spit on Africa, yet they got them goddamn pseudo-Ricans, Puerto Ricans and shit, and say that they a tribe of Israel and they are spit in the face of another African. Just to, and walk over the African to get to these goddamn Mexicans, get to the Puerto Rican, get to any other motherfucker that they claim is a tribe of Israel and disrespect Africa. And that's why we got to get in their ass. That's why we got to dig in their motherfucking chest every opportunity that we get. Now, this is very easy work. You understand what I'm saying? Very, very, these are daggers that go right in and very much destroy, and they gonna run, they gonna try to cut and paste, they gonna try to motherfucker put some band-aids on them goddamn, them sword wounds that they about to get, and ain't gonna be enough, but I'm gonna easily destroy any, lie that some Israelites or some Hebrews or any of that shit was in Africa and built pyramids. The greatest structure that's still standing on the planet. Now, the first question that I always ask, I say, well, goddamn, if y'all was in Egypt building pyramids, why haven't you constructed Why haven't y'all tombs and adequate tombs and temples for your own kings and prophets? They have not found one tomb of any prophet or any king that have ever lived in Israel. Not one. Yet and still you build pyramids in Egypt. I find that shit totally unbelievable that you had that kind of knowledge to be able to construct the greatest structures on this planet and cannot find one tomb for any goddamn prophet or any king that was ever mentioned in the Bible. Okay? That shit is unbelievable to me. But let's start this. Crushing these goddamn Hebrews and let me see where it's at. I believe this is the one right here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Right here. Now, you can come back to this at any given time. You know what I'm saying? I can, and clear this up for you. You know what I'm saying? So when I come in, I'm gonna start throwing blows immediately. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's very critical, I got this right here. This is a timeline. Time that I got from this. So I don't want no motherfucker to get mad at me. And I've studied, the so-called Jew Hebrew chronology, and it's pretty much, you understand what I'm saying, in tune, even with the Hebrew chronology. You see what I'm saying? Because they always say, well, that's not Hebrew. Motherfucker, that's the same chronology. You understand? Pretty much the same chronology. And then when they pressed against the wall about, things in Egypt that predate, then they try to they try to tamper with the chronology and say, well, the chronology is not correct. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you call filibustering. They always gonna filibuster when they don't have an answer for the truth. Okay? Now, what's very clear that we need to bring up, if you look up at the pyramids, you see that the pyramids was constructed. We talking about the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid, Khufu, Khafre, you know what I'm saying? Menkaure, was constructed around where, they wasn't all built at the same time, but Khufu, which is the largest one, was, finished around 2550 BCE. Okay? Now, we understand that that's very much approximated because from the African perspective, it could be far older than that. Okay? Now, what's very, very critical that we need to understand here, number one, that's very, very critical that we need to understand here is, let me see if I got this. If I don't, I got another one. Wait a minute, hold up. Let me throw this over because it's gonna be very critical. And when I do this, it's gonna cut. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cut like I needed to cut. Now, you got the flood of Noah that was supposedly around 2,300, and if I'm not mistaken, 48. You understand what I'm saying? According to the Christian, according to the Hebrew, that's right. Here it is. Here it is right here. I'm gonna bring this up. So you got the flood at around 2,344 BC. Okay, you got the flood. Now, what's very, very critical about that is that Egypt is supposedly the son, according to the Bible, the son of Ham. Noah had 3 sons. One of them was Ham, one of them was Shem, and one of them was Japheth. Okay? Now, according to the Bible, only 8 people got on the boat. Noah, Ham, Shem, Japheth, and all their wives, which would make 8 people. And so if you look at the genealogy, of Ham, he is supposedly the father of Egypt as you look at the Bible. You see what I'm saying? And so if only 8 people got on the boat, and Ham is supposedly the father of Egypt, we can quickly come to the understanding that there is no Egypt before the flood. You see what I'm saying? There is no Egypt before the flood. According to the Bible, Egypt was born after the flood. They all had their children after they got off the ark. So now you in a very serious situation. Okay? You're in a very, very serious situation, because when you look here at the biblical timeline, and I don't even know what the fuck would even make them put the pyramids on there. You got Ham, who was supposedly the father of Egypt. He's born at 2440 BC. Okay? You got Shem born at 2441. And you got Japheth born 2444. Okay? Now that's very, very critical, because how in the fuck is Egypt gonna be the son of Ham when the goddamn pyramids is already standing in Egypt at 2550 BC? The goddamn pyramids is older than Ham. So how in the fuck is Egypt supposed to be the son of Ham? You see what I'm saying? That's a very devastating fact. You understand what I'm saying? Because, which I'm going to deal with. Because when you look at the damn pyramids, you got to conceive in your mind. If you got the slightest, level of intellect, there is no way possible that it could, 25, 50, that's the end date. How long did it take them to acquire the knowledge to build a goddamn pyramid? You see what I'm saying? So at that point, you're in a very, very serious bag to explain this, which it cannot be explained. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, because when you talk about the line that the Jew or the Hebrew supposedly came through was Shem. So how in the fuck is the Jew or the Hebrew in Egypt building a pyramid when the first of their line, which is Shem, had not even been born yet, when the pyramids was already standing? Letting on some Moses, some damn Joseph and shit, which is 1,000 years later. You understand what I'm saying? They show you the Jews, the Hebrews in Egypt building pyramids around the time of Joseph and goddamn Moses, when the pyramids was already standing 1,000 years, which I can clearly show you this. And you can go into any biblical chronology. You can go into any Hebrew chronology, and this is the chronology. I didn't make this. I didn't get this out of an African book or nothing. You see what I'm saying? I got this clearly out of Christian, I got this from a Christian website. You understand what I'm saying? And so even when you deal here, you see what I'm saying? Now we clearly looking at the pyramids here. Now I can get the dates. I got the dates of the other pyramids too. It's not a problem. I got the dates of the other pyramid. And then you talking about the pyramid of Saqqara, which was the first one, was constructed around 2700 BC. You understand what I'm saying? That's before Jepha, before Ham, before goddamn Shem. And the thing is, which is even more devastating about any flood, you understand what I'm saying? Because Egypt had the longest dynastic chronology of any people, any nation on the planet, lasted for 3,000 years. You understand what I'm saying? And I can show you the kings list. You know what I'm saying? So it could not been a flood that happened around no damn 2344, because that's the end of the fifth dynasty. God damn it. I mean, the dynasties kept going on and on and on. So if it was a flood that came and washed everybody away, even if they say, okay, Egypt, they saying Egypt is the father, the son of Ham, maybe that they didn't get that right and this, that don't matter. If there's a flood that wash away everybody in the world at 2344, then the Egyptian nation should have ended at that point. It should not have been no continuation of kings and queens or none of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? It should abruptly came to an end, but it continued on. You understand? You talking about 2344, it continued on another 2,000 years. You understand what I'm saying? It continued on another 2,000 years without a hitch. You understand what I'm saying? Continued on, for another 2,000 years. And so you see right there at the bottom, it says Noah builds the ark at 2464. And we can already get off into that. We'll get off into the ark thing on another video, another stilling of, African traditions, And so let me get back up here. So when you look, you talking about when the so-called Jews came into slavery. You see, Hebrew slavery started around 1630. You understand what I'm saying? 1630. This is according to their fucking chronology. Nah, they didn't have that chronology for a long time, but African scholarship has progressed to the point now they want to fabricate a new chronology. They can no longer, accept, what they've been, teaching for the last, I don't know how many hundreds of years. The chronology has caught up to them now to where they need to fabricate a new chronology to deal with these facts that they cannot just sweep up under the goddamn rug. So you talking about Hebrew slavery in Egypt around 630. This day shit. This ain't my goddamn shit. This day shit. I didn't go choose no African out of no African scholarship or nothing. I chose to use their own goddamn timeline. And so you talking about, Hebrew Joseph coming into Egypt around 1728. We know this is a lie, but we just gonna go with their dates. You understand what I'm saying? And so Joseph comes in at 1728. Then you got Hebrew slavery in Egypt from 1630. And so we can easily go back here and look at and see at 2550 BC, and we ain't even dealing with Zosia's pyramid, which is 2700 BC, and that's on the short chronology. That ain't on the long chronology. You understand? That's on the short chronology. You know what I'm saying? Because even then, they cutting the chronology of Egypt short so it can synchronize with Sumeria. Even though a lot of motherfuckers keep saying that Sumeria is older than goddamn Egypt, but then when you clearly look down here, you see Ur-Namshi, first king of Sumer, was at 2520. So which means the Egyptians had already built all the large pyramids before the first king ever sat on the throne of Sumer, which is the first civilization over there in Mesopotamia. You understand what I'm saying? So That's fucking ridiculous for motherfuckers to sit up here and act like Sumer or Mesopotamia. And the only reason why they do that, because in the goddamn Bible, it says that these Jews, these Hebrews, and these so-called Arabs come up out of the area of Mesopotamia, which they do not, okay, which they do not, but because that's closest to the area when they broke from through them goddamn Caucasus Mountains, that is basically the first area in which they come into when they come from out of them goddamn caves in Russia and this, that, and they broke over them damn Caucasus Mountains. That was the first area, what they call today the Middle East. That's the first area that they come in contact with and conquer. And so that's why they put that as the premier area, even though that's Kushite land and that Africans ruled that land, goddamn it, for thousands of years before any Caucasoid, before any Arab, before any Jew or any other thing came in the land. That's documented fact. You see what I'm saying? And so we showing right here, number one, key things. We showing today, and I could go even deeper and show the more ancient artifacts that have been found in Nubia. You understand what I'm saying, Father? They done found graves in Nubia, documented fact. If you want to go see the documentation, you can go to the Chicago Oriental Institute of Chicago, and you can see the research they was doing in Nubia. They always had the documentation, but they chose not to present the documentation. You understand what I'm saying? A later what you want to call a institute caretaker of the Oriental Institute, a new, I forget what the guy's name, he came and took over that Oriental Institute, went in the basement, found all the damn research, and he presented the research that before the flooding of Nubia with the Aswan Dam, that they went and tried to remove what they could. Majority of it got washed up under the lake, but they had clear evidence that Nubia preceded Egypt, and the very tombs that you see in Egypt was so similar to the ones in Nubia. Same god, Osiris. So, and so that's the oldest, when you look at the graves that they found in Nubia, they found artifacts showing a king sitting on the throne long before Egypt, so with the same white crown that you see the pharaohs of Egypt wearing. You understand what I'm saying? You see Set, you see Horus. You understand what I'm saying? You see the worship of Ra is already there. You understand what I'm saying? And so we clearly see that not only dealing with Egypt, also dealing with Nubia, which is far older than Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? That is no longer, we can sit up here and, continue to believe this garbage. You understand what I'm saying? This shit is total garbage. You understand what I'm saying? And all the nigga got to do is light a candle and burn some incense for you niggas and talk about God, and y'all fall right on it. God said. And then you say, well, goddamn it, let's call God right now. Ain't nobody got God number. Can't nobody, we call God and we get the busy signal. You see what I'm saying when it comes to that? So we don't understand that this God figure has been manipulated by a man for far too long. You understand what I'm saying? And we got to come up out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? We done outgrew the damn Bible. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't about disrespecting nobody's spirituality or whatever the fuck they feel. But truth is fucking truth. And we're not going, and when we ask the questions of what the fuck is these inconsistencies in this book, what is this? And we make up a lie to protect the lie. You understand? Over and over and over, going further and further away from the truth. We got to wake up today. And so, I'm going to let this is a very big, okay. Now, this is another motherfucker. This is called the Usher. Now, I believe Usher was one of those, not Usher the singer. We talking about this motherfucker named Usher that was in the, if I'm not mistaken, the cabinet of King James. And so he got some differences of dates and shit. And he know more. He further from he just extended the lie. It don't contradict nothing. It's about a couple hundred years here and there, 200-300 years from the other one, but it don't make no goddamn difference. You see what I'm saying? On this one, you talking about Terah, the father of Abraham, born 2236, Abraham born, and that's very critical. Because even though that date, other chronologies will give the birth of Abraham around 1675, 1700 BC. Okay, now he want to give him 2166, but it's not a fucking enough. You're going to have to manipulate it and stretch it so far, people going to know, because you don't have no original documentation. That's what's very clear. You have no primary references, and primary meaning it comes from the man in whom or woman in whom we speak of. Not only you don't have no original documentation, it was not mass produced at that time to give more validity to the book. Just coming up with one book don't mean shit, because you can't teach no nation with no one fucking book. You got to have mass production of fucking literature to have mass education. So not only do they not have the original, so if they don't have primary references, what gives them the power to fucking manipulate the dates? Other than that, they need to manipulate the dates to stay in control of the people's mind. They doing research that's breaking the chains of that shit that they done taught us. So now they have to come in and update the date. So, that's very critical that I say even Abraham, because Abraham is the father of the so-called, now they're gonna say something about some Elber, that the Hebrew motherfucker, God made a covenant with Abraham. He didn't make no motherfucking covenant with no damn Elber. So when we talk about the covenant of God is with Abraham. He said, you will be the father of a great nation. And that nation will be the nation that will be given the promised land. So that's the covenant right there. That's the goddamn covenant. And so at 21, so how the thing is, I'm keep bringing up, how the fuck could any Jew or Hebrew be in Egypt, or Israelite be in Egypt constructing pyramids, when the very first Jew, the very first Hebrew, the one that the covenant with God, they're going to try to go to some Elber. Goddamn it, God didn't make no covenant with no damn Elber. Okay, I don't want to hear that garbage. You understand? The covenant was made with Abraham. And so this is how the prophecy of Israel and all come through Abraham. And so every one of them, whether it's Christian, whether it's Islam, whether it's Judaism, they all go back to goddamn Abraham. So how can we say that any Jew or any, they even, the Arabs say he is the original Egyptian. Yet he come from Shem. He come from Ishmael, okay, which is the son of Abraham. And I asked him, I said, well, damn, the Jew, your father. I say, how the fuck? Ishmael was a mixed breed. His mama was an Egyptian, and his daddy was a Jew, was a Hebrew. Okay, so the Arab is basically a mixed breed. So when they start their bloodline with Ishmael. Yeah, they say Abraham, but their bloodline is through Ishmael. I said, well, goddamn, how the hell you gonna be the original Egyptian when goddamn Egypt was already standing before Abraham, who is your daddy? You understand what I'm saying? How the hell you gonna be on here talking and the critical shit that we don't even realize that the Arab today is claiming Egypt, which supposedly was the son of Ham, yet and still they still want to say they from Ishmael, who clearly is the bloodline of Shem. I said, well, goddamn, who are you? Are you the Shemitic or are you the Hamitic? Which motherfucker is you? It's like it's like the Arab jumping on both sides of the fence. He don't know whether, and like I say, it's funny to me because ain't none of that shit the truth. But when you understand all the players on the board, then you can use it so that you can win this intellectual war. I'm in this shit for warfare. It's funny to me that people allow these religions to manipulate you, and they have given you all of. That's why I love coming with their material. I don't like coming with nothing else but their material. You feel what I'm saying? So don't nobody say, "Oh, them niggas used African chronology and this, that, and the third." No. You see what I'm saying? And what's critical, let me see right here. No, I'm gonna get back to that. Let me delete this out of here. Let me get now this is some chronologies that I need to deal with. Now you talk about Zosia. Now we already discussed that. Now in this chronology it says, Jacob or Israel. Jacob is Israel. Comes into Egypt around 1876. Okay, 1876. And so you can come down and see Zosia's pyramid is already standing, 2670 BC. And then you have Seneferu, who is the father of Khufu. And Khufu is the largest pyramid at Giza. You see, he builds two great pyramids, at Dashur and Meidum. And so those was constructed 2612, 2589, clearly before Israel come into Egypt. Khufu 2589, 2566 Giza. I'm looking at all the great pyramids. Okay, you come down, you got Jetfree, you got Khafra, you got Menkaure, you got Usakov, you got Sahure. And that's even down even further. And all of those were constructed before the 1876 BC, when supposedly Israel comes into Egypt. So the question I'm asked, and what's critical that y'all got to understand, is that Egypt had a pyramid age. You see what I'm saying? They had a pyramid age, and that was in the Old Kingdom. You see what I'm saying? And so basically, when I discuss all these pyramids, I just discuss, that's your pyramid age. That's your pyramid age. When you talk about Usakov, let me see, is there some down here? Yeah, and these are the smaller pyramids, but the last large pyramid, the very last large pyramid was the pyramids of Amenemhat III, which is in 1860, 1814. Okay, but they all, and so that was the last large pyramid, and so technically that was the end of the pyramid age. You see what I'm saying? After the pyramid, when you go into the new kingdom, they start burying the kings in what you call the Valley of the Kings. So they was in a total different, architectural, design at that time. They wasn't even building pyramids at that time. So if they came into Egypt around 1876, we just showed that the last pyramid, 1860, you understand what I'm saying? 1840 had already been constructed. What pyramids did they build? You understand what I'm saying? What fucking pyramid? Because they was already standing. And all of the ones that they want to show you, the great ones, they had already been standing 1,000 years before they even come into Egypt. Had almost been standing over 1,000 years before they come into Egypt, and that's clear. And so we sit here and we go through this bullshit. So if you know what the key is, once you destroy the genealogy of Noah, you know what I'm saying? Because basically Noah is the new Adam. You know what I'm saying? Everybody after the flood supposedly descend from Noah and his three sons. He's the new Adam. But goddamn it, if you telling me that Egypt, Cush, and not only Egypt, you're talking about Cush, Ethiopia. You understand what I'm saying? And I just stated to you that the Oriental Institute and many other people have already documented that Ethiopia is older than Egypt. So if I just showed you the documentation that Egypt is older than Ham, that the pyramids was already standing before the birth of Ham, God damn it, you understand what I'm saying? That destroys the genealogy of the Bible. Just straight up. You understand what I'm saying? No need to move to the next individual. You understand what I'm saying? That's very critical. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if you wage your biblical war in Genesis, there's really no need to go no further than Genesis, because you done wiped out damn near everybody that could come. Muhammad, Jesus, because they say Jesus was born, you know what I'm saying, to rectify what Adam and Eve did. You understand what I'm saying? To die for original sin so that motherfuckers could go to heaven. But if it ain't no Adam and Eve, then there's no original sin. And if there's no original sin, then what the fuck is we talking about Jesus for? You see what I'm saying? All of it is tied to Genesis. You see what I'm saying? And we destroying the genealogy of it, and because Jesus come back to Shem, Abraham come back to Shem. You see what I'm saying? All them, even Muhammad, come back to Shem. Because if he say the heir come from Ishmael, Ishmael come from Abraham, Abraham come back to Shem. Okay? Come back to Shem. But we've already destroyed the fact that we cannot let them get away with that. It should not have been no Egypt. It should not have been no Ethiopia before the flood, because all of them supposedly was born after the flood. Okay? And we can prove, goddamn, not only did Egypt have pyramids before the flood, goddamn, when we look at the pyramids, we gotta say at least that's 500,000 years of development. You understand what I'm saying? How in the fuck you think people just gonna show up and build like that on that level? You think they just did that shit overnight? So when we talk about the 2550, that's the end date. That ain't the beginning date. That's the end date. You see what I'm saying? Let's move down. And so again, we looking at, some of the, we looking at the pharaohs before the flood. Okay, we already said the flood around 2344. And so you can look here on this timeline. You understand what I'm saying? And you can see you got normal. You got around 2950. You understand the Nubian chronology? They saying that, their chronology go back to almost 3800 BC. So the Nubians had dynastic rule, had kingship, not just kingship, divine kingship, almost 1,000 years before the first king of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? So you can see this is the second dynasty. This cannot just be washed away, because these kings got, they got tombs. And too bad, they ain't got no tomb for Moses or Abraham or Isaac or Jacob or Solomon or none of that. They ain't got no tombs for them. You see what I'm saying? And so you can't wash these kings away because they got tombs. You understand what I'm saying? They got tombs. And it's very critical that y'all understand that. You understand what I'm saying? This is shit that just cannot be washed away. And so you looking at the third dynasty, and so you see here you got Zoser 2630. You got Second cat, second cat, you got Kaba, ain't that crazy? You got Kaba, Huni, Seneferu, Khufu, Khafra, Menkaura, Yuka, Sahure. You understand what I'm saying? So you got all Unis, and so Unis is the last king. Now you got the flood at 2344 BC, and so the flood would have happened in the reign of Unis. Wait a minute, can y'all see it down there? No, y'all can't see it. Let me take that out of there. Let me take that out of there just so y'all can see that right quick. See, you see Unis at the bottom. Let me see if I can blow that up just a little bit. Okay? And you see that you see Unis at the bottom at 2356, 2323. Okay, let me put my down here at the bottom. Okay, so that would have been the time of the flood. Now, even though we gonna hold them to the fact that it should not have been no Egypt before the flood, there's no getting around that. You understand? What Egypt should have been born after the flood, but we clearly have an Egypt, so that destroys any chronology that Ham is the father of Egypt and damn Ethiopia. Destroys that. You understand what I'm saying? So that whole genealogy shit crumbles at that point. And the fact that the pyramids is already standing, in Egypt before the birth of Shem, which is the first of that bloodline of goddamn Noah. Noah come from Shem. Abraham come from Shem. Jacob come from Shem. Joseph and all of them, Moses, they come from Shem. If the goddamn pyramids is standing in the motherfucking Egypt before Shem, the first of the bloodline, how can you have some goddamn Israelites in Egypt building some goddamn pyramid? That shit is done for. If you still believe that shit, you got to be the dumbest nigga on earth. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be the dumbest goddamn nigga on earth. That shit is a rap. You see, you got a lot of motherfucking biblical scholars that's coming to grips with that. And they trying to say, well, maybe it was allegorical, or you know what I'm saying? They fucked up in the head because they know ain't no way that they could wiggle out of that. Now, if the flood, let's just say for instance, let's give them one more. Let's raise them up. We done already knocked them down. You understand? But let's raise them up. Let's raise them up, and let's just say, for instance, there was some miscalculations. Okay, some miscalculation. Now, if the flood happened when they say it happened, then Egypt should have ended with Unis. You understand what I'm saying? And it shouldn't even been nobody to put the last date there. You understand? And it should have ended when the flood. So we'll just say it was in that time. But what happens after that? Wait a minute, let me go to this up. Let me go to this other one so I could drop that other chronology in there. Okay, here you go. Now that's the fifth fucking dynasty. You understand? Unis. Now it should have ended there. But what happens? What happens? We go to the sixth dynasty. You go to the fucking sixth. Let me blow that up. You go to the sixth dynasty. It keeps going. You understand what I'm saying? And not only do it keep going, it goes all the way down there. I mean, you got the Ethiopian dynasty at the 25th dynasty. And that's legitimately the last real African dynasty, the 25th dynasty. It should have ended there. But what happens? It continues on. So right there, that destroys not only the motherfucking the genealogy of Noah, it destroys the genealogy of Shem and Ham. It also destroys the myth of the flood that supposedly washed every motherfucker away on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Washed everybody away on the motherfucking planet. You understand? Only 8 motherfuckers still alive. There's Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth and their wives. Would make 8 people, and everybody else come after the flood. It destroys that. So after doing that, that really, I don't want to hear nothing about no David. I don't want to hear nothing about no motherfucker Solomon. I don't even want to hear about no Joseph. I don't want to hear nothing about no goddamn Jesus. I don't want to hear nothing about no Muhammad. I don't want to hear nothing about that. You understand what I'm saying? That shit done collapsed. You know what I mean? And there's no getting around that, because if the flood happened, goddamn, I mean, even if it happened before that, but you can't keep finagling, because you say goddamn Moses was in Egypt with Ramesses. You got some goddamn Ramesses in the Bible. So goddamn it, you can't keep finagling with the damn time. You see what I'm saying? And so I had to let me come on down. Now, when we ask, for the biblical and the Hebrew scholars, to clarify why is these very severe inconsistencies in the Bible, the only argument they have is that the Egyptian chronology is incorrect. But, and so what they try to do is they try to finagle with the chronology, but that just, like jumping out of the goddamn frying pan into the fire, because what they do is, when you're looking at even the European chronology, it damn near totally impossible to explain the greatness of Egypt by the short chronology of white Egyptologists. But what the biblical motherfuckers, they try to even shorten the motherfucker even more than the white Egyptologists. They try to squeeze 3,000 fucking years into like 600 fucking years. You understand? So it'll synchronize with the goddamn Bible. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's even you think it's hard to explain Egypt by way of the goddamn European chronology. Try to explain that motherfucker by the biblical chronology. You're not going to be able to do it. When you look at all the megalithic structures that is in Egypt, from every pyramid, every tomb, every temple, every fucking statue, is no goddamn way you're going to be able to explain that by no motherfucking, no 600 years. Now, what's critical about that, another critical fact that a lot of people not bringing up, that we got to, now here it say 2342, but it is 42, but it's 44. Okay, we're a couple years. Okay, now when Jacob comes into Egypt is 1876. Okay, that's 466 years later. Okay, now I want y'all to hear this shit. Wait a minute, let me come down. Wait a minute, let me bring this up. It's some of that information that I left out of it. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that over here. I got it right here. I want y'all to look at these facts. You know what I'm saying? What they come into Egypt with. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna laugh like a guy, you're gonna laugh like a motherfucker. People talking about they in there building goddamn pyramid. Let me get this shit. Come on, goddamn it, let's work. I don't know why I ain't had that already over there. But it ain't no problem, because I'm going to find that motherfucker right here. Wait, right here. Boom. I knew it. Here we go. I want y'all to see what they come into Egypt with. Now, the question is, how many people went into Egypt with Jacob? Okay? Now, we're talking about the flood was at 2344 BC. Let me correct that. 44 BC. Okay? And so Jacob, who is Israel, comes into Egypt at 1876. That's 466 years after the flood. Now let's see how many they come into Egypt with. How many people went into Egypt with Jacob? These are the names of the sons of Israel who came into Egypt with Jacob, each with his household. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. The total number of people born to Jacob was 70. 70. So Jacob had 70 descendants, one of whom was already in Egypt. You mean to tell me in 466 years, you understand what I'm saying? Y'all got off the boat, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and Jacob is of the bloodline of Shem. You mean to tell me after 466 years, you motherfuckers only got 70 people? Is you killing? Man, listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you, man. This shit is so hilarious to me. You know what I'm saying? 466 years, coming off the boat, and the bloodline of Shem after 466 years only have 70 people. Okay? So, I mean, the question to me is what fucking pyramids is you gonna build with 70 motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? How long do we, how long would it take if the world just disappeared? You know, and the war, and all the people was washed off of the face of the fucking earth. How long do you think it would take people to, repopulate the earth, to be able to build pyramids like that and to build so many thousands of megalithic structures? You are gonna need millions of people. You're not even thousands, nigga. You gonna break a whole lot of motherfucking backs. You know what I'm saying? To 70 people. So that don't even make no goddamn sense. That people don't even ain't gonna make up this that somehow they come into Egypt and I don't give a fuck how you explain it. 70 people, and then how you gonna do it incesting like that? How you gonna, and they say they started to multiply in Egypt all of a sudden into great numbers to that, until where the Egyptians was, very nervous about the numbers, but goddamn, you mean to tell me you wasn't multiplying like that for 466 years, and then you come into Egypt and then it's some mass explosion of goddamn fucking, Israelites and shit, this, that. How are you gonna repopulate incested? And you talking about, and y'all brothers and shit. You know what I'm saying? People don't look at that. All of them is brothers. So when they went in 70, are we to assume that they all incesting with their own sisters and shit? This, that, and the third. Are we to assume that? That story is garbage. That shit is garbage. Go look it up. So they come into Egypt and with goddamn 70 people. 70 goddamn people. And the way it sounds, the majority of them was goddamn men. The majority of them was goddamn men. You see what I'm saying? Who out there goddamn tending to them damn herds? You got to have men out there tending to them goddamn herds. So, you know what, family? That right there legitimately destroys any myth that Hebrews built. Not only destroy the myth of, the Hebrews building pyramid, the myth that you can contain Africa by the Bible. That's bullshit. That's garbage. You can take that shit and throw it right in the goddamn garbage right now. You can take that motherfucker, throw it right in the garbage. It's a lie. And I could not believe that God, being a God of good, a God of righteousness, a God that hate lies and this, that, would put his name on some bullshit like that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't believe that no God would put in goddamn name. And I ain't even went into Genesis. I destroyed Genesis at another time. I mean, the creation story. You understand what I'm saying? The creation story is garbage. You can literally destroy the Bible. But I rather, I like to take the creation story, put it with the goddamn flood and Noah and destroy that shit. And you ain't got to go no further than the creation story and goddamn Noah. After Noah, it should be over with. Ain't no motherfucker talking about no Jacob and no goddamn Joseph and no goddamn Potiphar and none of that shit. No Moses was in goddamn Egypt and this, that, and the third. That shit is over with. I'm sick of people continuing to hate on the greatness of Africa, spitting all these lies. And I just seen videos and I'm about to go over here to the general page in just a minute. Get over there to the general page. I seen them niggas over there, and they won't even let them niggas go to the sites. They won't even, them niggas over there doing rituals, and they writing laws banning their ass from even going to the sites. You know, they about to put their ass from out over there too. And they talking about they the goddamn chosen one, the Ethiopian motherfuckers over there. They ready to go back to Ethiopia. You understand? Hebrew Israelite niggas going over there talking about they doing rituals. They banning their ass from the sites and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the facts. I done seen that shit over there. So damn it, I'm done. Okay? I'm done with that. You know? And so family, we continue to crash these motherfuckers. Go back, watch it, and master those particular facts. The only thing they're gonna say is that the chronology is wrong. You understand what I'm saying? That the crime, but again, you just stick to the facts and say, well, goddamn it, you know, was Egypt born before the flood or after the flood? Okay, is the Bible correct or did it fuck up? And if Egypt was after the flood, see that if you think you can't interpret Egypt by the European, try to push all of the Egyptian chronology after 2344. Try to do that. Try to do that. Try to push the Egyptian. You think you can't explain Egypt by the white chronology, even starting at 3000 BC, because ain't no way you gonna make me believe that in 300 years, they building goddamn, just 300 years, they building pyramids that still standing probably 6, 7, 8,000 years later. That's a million years worth of knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna do that in no fucking 300 years. So how the hell you gonna push it up to 2344 and squeeze all the ancient Egypt? That's some garbage. That is straight garbage. And any nigga that would believe that, nigga, you is so mentally deranged that a nigga could tell you anything. So family, I appreciate y'all coming on for this very, and like I said, rewind the tape. God damn it, and go over it and go over it again. And I guarantee you that you're not coming up out of that. Okay, that's the motherfucker. I got the motherfucker in the headlock. And you know what he gonna do? He's going to sleep. Okay? He's going to sleep, family. All right, this is the General Sarasun Seti. Fuck with me. KingSeti.com, Patreon, General Sarasun Seti, GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. Make sure you subscribe, like it because you love it. Share this shit. You understand? Let's get it popping. Yeah, I'm still about that. Anytime like I said, I need a big one. I'm trying to ruffle some feathers. Come on out. Get the big Hebrew. Go get the big one with all the, you understand, shiny goddamn rhinestones. And you understand what I'm saying? And it's punk rock goddamn headbands and shit and all that. Get them all. Got to get the biggest one you got. I'm ready. At any given time, I'm going to give you that work. This is the General Sarasu and said, he said, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black Power.